Sometimes, the hardest thing a man can do is distance himself from the one person his soul aches for. This is not an act of rejection, but an internal war, a battle between love and fear, between what could be and what seems impossible. To the masculine energy out there, those who love deeply but struggle to express it, this message is for you. I see you. I understand you. And I know the weight you carry when you choose to walk away, not because you don't care, but because you feel you're not enough. His eyes glisten with unshed tears as he whispers to himself, "What if I fail her?" You see, the dream feminine isn't just a person. She's a mirror reflecting back everything you long to be, but fear you'll never become. She represents love in its purest form, a connection that feels otherworldly, and a future you secretly dream of but hesitate to claim. Show clips of joyful moments, laughter, a shared glance, quiet moments of connection. Then fade to black as the warmth of those memories shifts to the cold reality of distance. But fear has a way of distorting perception. You start to doubt. Am I worthy of her love? Will I let her down? The masculine distances himself, thinking it's protection for her, protection for himself. Yet in doing so, he breaks his own heart. Close up on the journal as he writes, "I love her, but I can't give her the life she deserves not yet." You convince yourself that she deserves more than you think you can offer. So, you step back, hoping she'll find someone better, someone stronger. But here's the truth. The love you're denying her might be the very thing she's waiting for. Scene shifts to a brighter day. The man stands in front of a mirror, looking at himself with newfound determination. What if I told you that your dream feminine doesn't want perfection? She doesn't need you to have it all figured out. She doesn't want someone without flaws. She wants you. The real you, the one who's willing to grow, to learn, to show up, even when it's messy. The man is seen working on himself, reading, journaling, seeking mentorship, and reconnecting with his passions. Distancing yourself might feel like the right choice now, but love isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up, even when you're scared. The real strength lies in vulnerability. The courage to say, "I don't have all the answers, but I want to figure them out with you." Cut to the man sitting at his desk, writing a heartfelt letter. The camera zooms in on the words, "To my dream feminine, you are my greatest inspiration." To the dream feminine, know this. If he's distanced himself, it's not because he doesn't care. It's because he cares so deeply that it terrifies him. He's fighting battles you may never see. But if he's worth it, hold space for him. And if he returns, let love guide you both. The man stands under a night sky, looking up at the stars. A gentle smile forms as he whispers, "I'll find my way back." Masculine energy, it's time to stop running from your heart. Love isn't something you need to earn, it's something you give. Step forward, not away. Because the dream feminine is waiting, not for someone perfect, but for someone real. This is your sign to stop breaking your own heart. It's time to bridge the distance and embrace the love you deserve. This isn't the end of your story, it's just the beginning. The distance you've created may feel insurmountable, but every journey back to love starts with one step. A single moment of courage can change everything. Imagine what it would feel like to let go of the fear, to speak your truth, to tell her how you really feel. Love demands bravery, but it also rewards it. When you break through the walls you've built, you'll discover a freedom you never thought possible, a freedom to love fully and be loved in return. Yourself from, ask yourself why. Is it fear? Is it doubt? Whatever it is, recognize that those emotions are temporary, but love the kind of love that inspires and transforms is eternal. Don't let fear win. Reach out. Take a chance. Speak your heart. Switch to images of a woman sitting by a window, looking contemplative. And for the dream feminine out there, the one wondering why he's pulling away, remember this. His silence is not a reflection of your worth. You are worthy of love, just as you are. Be patient, but also honor your own heart. Sometimes love needs time to grow. Sometimes it needs to be let go. Trust your intuition to know the difference. The man is seen walking confidently, holding a bouquet of flowers. The screen fades to a handwritten note that reads, "Love is worth the risk." Every love story is a journey. Some are straight paths, others are winding roads filled with detours. But no matter where you are, remember this: love is always worth it. Don't let fear be the author of your story. Let love be your guide. Love bravely. Live authentically. You are enough. As we close this chapter, let's take a moment to reflect. Love is not about perfection. It's about showing up, even when you're scared, and letting yourself be seen. It's about making space for growth, both for yourself and the person you hold dear. If you're someone who's distanced yourself from love, here are a few things you can do today to take the first step toward healing and reconnecting. Them down in a journal. Be honest with yourself. What are you afraid of? What do you truly want? Reach out, even if it's just to say, "I'm sorry I've been distant. Can we talk?" Vulnerability can feel terrifying, but it's the bridge to deeper connection. If fear of inadequacy is holding you back, use this time to grow. Seek therapy, read books on self-improvement, or find a mentor. Remember, personal growth isn't about being good enough for someone else. It's about becoming the best version of you for yourself. Nobody is perfect, and love doesn't require you to be. It only asks that you show up with an open heart and a willingness to try. And to the dream feminine, remember, you are powerful, radiant, and deserving of love that feels like home. If he's distant, don't internalize it as a lack of your worth. Sometimes, people need to go through their own storms before they can stand in the light with you. Hold space if you can, but never compromise your own boundaries or self-love. I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a love like this? A love that feels both magnetic and impossible at the same time. Share your story in the comments below. Let's start a conversation about how love shapes us, challenges us, and ultimately transforms us. The narrator appears one final time, speaking directly to the audience with warmth and encouragement. Before we close, I want to invite you to take this conversation beyond the screen. If you're on a journey of self-discovery, healing, or rekindling love, you don't have to do it alone. Here's how you can get involved. Making this video was a labor of love, and we're not stopping here. In our next video, we'll dive into the topic of vulnerability in relationships, how to embrace it, why it's so challenging, and how it can transform the way you connect with others. Life is messy, unpredictable, and full of ups and downs. But love, the kind that shakes your soul and teaches you to grow, is worth every challenge. Remember, distancing yourself might feel like safety, but it often leads to regret. The bravest thing you can do is step toward the love you feel in your heart. Love is beautiful, but it's also complicated. In this heartfelt video, we explore the masculine experience of pulling away from their dream feminine, the inner conflict, the fear, and the hope for something greater. This message is for anyone who's ever felt the weight of love and fear colliding. It's for those who've distanced themselves in the name of protection, and for those waiting patiently on the other side, wondering why. Build a space where your audience can share their stories, seek advice, and connect with like-minded individuals. Options include: bring in relationship coaches, therapists, or authors to provide deeper insights. Interviews or collaborations can offer expert advice to your audience. Attract new viewers who are fans of the guest. There's a moment, often in the stillness of night, when the truth becomes inescapable. You realize that the distance you created wasn't just about protecting them, it was about protecting yourself. But at what cost? The man exhales deeply, and the camera zooms in on his journal. On the page, he's written, "Why am I so afraid to love?" This is the question so many of us struggle with. Why does love, the very thing that has the power to heal, also hold the power to terrify? For the masculine, this fear often stems from a lifetime of messages that equate vulnerability with weakness and emotions with failure. But it's time to rewrite that narrative. The screen shifts to a montage of men at different stages of life. A boy crying alone, A teenager hesitating to ask for help, an adult walking away from a relationship. We're told to be strong, to be providers, to be protectors. But no one teaches us that true strength lies in admitting our fears, or that providing love means first allowing ourselves to receive it. The masculine distances itself not because it doesn't love, but because it doesn't know how to reconcile love with its own insecurities. The screen fades to black, then transitions to a brighter scene. The man standing at the edge of a forest trail, looking hopeful. But here's the truth. You don't need to have all the answers. Love doesn't demand perfection. It only asks for presence for you to show up, flaws and all. The man picks up his phone and stares at it, hesitating. The voiceover shifts to a compassionate and encouraging tone. If you've distanced yourself from someone you love, it's never too late to take the first step. Start with honesty, not just with them, but with yourself. Ask yourself, what am I truly afraid of? What do I truly want? And they reach out. Even if your voice shakes, even if you stumble over your words, reach out. Love doesn't require grand gestures. Sometimes the bravest act is simply saying, I'm here. The screen transitions to a woman sitting at a desk, looking at an old photograph. A soft smile forms on her face as she runs her fingers over the image. And to the dream feminine, I want you to know this. His distance is not a reflection of your worth. You are not too much. Your love is not overwhelming. His fear is his own battle to fight, and you cannot fix it for him. But you can hold space if you choose without losing yourself in the process. The man and the woman are shown separately, each walking toward the same bridge from opposite sides. As they meet in the middle, the camera lingers on their tentative smiles. When two people are willing to face their fears and embrace vulnerability, love becomes transformative. It heals the wounds we thought would never fade. It reminds us that we're not alone. And it teaches us that the greatest risk we can take is also the one most worth taking. To the masculine heart, stop running. Love is not something you need to protect others from, it's something you need to protect within yourself. And to the feminine heart, trust your intuition. Hold space where you can, and let go where you must. In the end, love isn't about perfection or guarantees. It's about two souls choosing to show up again and again, even when it's hard. Because love, in its purest form, is always worth the journey. He picks up the pen, hesitates, and puts it down again. The music swells as he looks out the window at the rain falling softly, his face a mixture of regret and longing. There comes a moment when the silence becomes deafening, when the space you created to protect yourself feels more like a prison. For the masculine, this is the breaking point, the moment they confront their own heart and the walls they've built around it. Cut to a woman sitting on a park bench, her scarf blowing gently in the wind. She clutches a letter in her hands, rereading it with a bittersweet smile. Her eyes brim with unshed tears, but there's also a quiet strength in her expression. She waits, not because she's weak, but because she sees something in him that he struggles to see in himself. She knows the love they share is rare, and though it hurts, she chooses to hold on. For now. But even the strongest hearts have their limits. She wonders, how long should I hold space for someone who keeps walking away? How long before I must choose myself instead? The man is now sitting on his couch, scrolling through old photos on his phone. He stops at a picture of them laughing together. A soft piano tune plays as he sets the phone down, his face etched with longing. This is the moment he realizes the truth. Distancing himself hasn't eased his fear, it's magnified it. The fear of losing her, of never having the courage to be fully seen, is greater than the fear of vulnerability itself. The man stands up, paces the room, and grabs his phone. He types out a message. I'm sorry, can we talk? His thumb hovers over the send button before he presses it. The woman is shown lighting a candle on her windowsill. Her phone vibrates on the table, and she glances at it hesitantly. When she sees the message, her expression softens. She takes a deep breath, places a hand on her heart, and sits down to reply. Her heart beats faster, but she remains grounded. She knows that love requires boundaries as much as it requires grace,